cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
And we are back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. My name is Wes. This guy is David, and he is joining us from the beach.
Yeah, I'm down here clear. Oh, let me adjust that camera. Let me get real close on everybody.
There you go.
There's a curtain. I'm trying to keep as much of the cold air in. Anyway, I'm down at Clearwater Beach in Florida. And,
Oh, man.
The female just brought me a Sprecher ginger ale. Craft soda water. Nice.
Okay, I love a ginger ale.
So I guess
do love
that's
a
what I'm
ginger ale.
drinking tonight.
Is that her way of saying that not to booze it up too much during the show?
No.
She didn't see that. There you go.
So I have on hand, if it gets that good, I have on hand a bottle of blackened Willet. This is the bottle I've been looking for.
Yeah, you have been. For quite a while.
Yeah, I just happened to stumble into a liquor store down here. They had it.
That's awesome.
I had to get it. I mean,
how is it? Have you tried it? Have you opened it yet?
Nope, have not opened it. I'm debating. I'd really like to make it home with it, just for travel purposes.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. There's a cigar lounge right up the road that as soon as this show's over, I'm going to head up there tonight. They've got a good bourbon selection, so
Ooh.
I think I'll let the dryness. Although I have had a couple of drinks, for most people that watch, no, I didn't drink anything for the month of June. But now it's July, and I've had, 3-4 mixed drinks today, but they're beach mixed drinks, so.
Right. They don't really count.
Yeah. I mean,
although I've had some beach mixed drinks that'll knock you on your backside, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I came and took a 2-hour nap afterwards.
Right.
So.
I've had a few beach mixed drinks. You're like, I don't know. Am I drinking rum with a pirate?
Yeah. Oh, we did drink rum with a pirate.
We did, and that was
and
a
that
rough.
Next day, you sent me a message saying I'm never drinking again.
Oh, the end of that show, man. The end of that show was that was rough.
It was a blast. It was a blast. So what are you drinking over there tonight?
So my neighbor actually went out of town. He went on vacation. So my current wife watered his flowers, and of course he brought me back some beer to thank us. So it is a Got Waves Kolsch from Ocean View Brewing Company.
Nice.
So far, it's pretty nice. It's pretty good.
I like a good Kolsch.
I do love a Kolsch. It's refreshing. It's crisp. On a hot day, it's really nice. And today has been really hot in Ohio. How's the weather down there?
And Florida. It's Florida weather. So hot, humid.
So pretty much perfect.
My hair, I don't know if it's showing up, but my hair is frizzy as can be.
I was gonna say, David, your hair, you're a mess.
My beard.
That ocean, that ocean air doesn't suit you well, man. Hey,
it's been rough.
How was your 4th?
It was good. We actually sat right here on this balcony and watched fireworks last night up there.
Oh.
So it was pretty good.
Yeah. They let them off over the water?
Yeah. So this direction behind me is like mainland.
Okay.
Whatever, Clearwater, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's back there somewhere.
Somewhere back there.
On the other side of me, facing that way, is the Gulf.
Yeah.
So So we actually watched some stuff out on the beach last night, and they were like, "All right, let's go to the pool deck," which is, if you guys hear noise, it's coming from the pool deck right below me here. Well, about 3 levels down, um, but then it was pretty crowded, and to get a good view wouldn't have been. So we just came up here and watched from up here.
Oh man, that's perfect. No, that's great. Yeah, we went to the
Had pizza.
Yeah.
Had pizza. See, you went to Dublin.
Yeah, we went to the Dublin fireworks show, and it was pretty good. They put on quite a show. The city of Dublin.
They usually do.
Like, they don't mess around.
Yeah.
It was crowded though,
Yeah.
man. There were a lot of people there.
Yeah, that one's always pretty packed. They pop it. They put everybody in a Dublin Kaufman.
Yeah, it was the Dublin Kaufman football field. So, but they put on like a big stage, and every year they have like real like celebrity musicians come in. Don't ask me who they were this year. I didn't recognize any of the names. And my wife is like, "Oh, they're super famous," and I'm like, I don't follow pop culture. I don't know this stuff. So.
Yeah, the Parabond and the Offspring, they're all the time. We'll walk in anywhere, and I just hear basically noise in the background.
Right.
And they're just sitting there bebopping, singing along, and I'm like, "You all know this song?"
Exactly.
And they're like, "Oh, it's really old." I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Old for them is like 6 months ago. So.
Yeah, really old. And me, we're friends. That is not old. That is not really old.
Hilarious. Yeah, no, it's the same way. I do not follow music at all. In fact, you know quite a bit more than I do.
Well, I'm working a bottle of Smoke Wagon by myself. Okay, so my buddy Keith, he may be watching.
Okay.
He might watch while he's working, and he's rocking a bottle of Smoke Wagon.
Smoke Wagon. I assume this is a bourbon?
It's a bourbon, yeah.
Okay, I don't know that one. How is it? Have you had it?
It's good. There's a couple different varieties in the Smoke Wagon kind of family.
Nice.
And they're all, so I haven't had a bad one yet. So.
Okay. I'll have to look for that. That sounds great.
Cool. They come in little decorative bottles, too. So you can use them as, after you're done, you can put them up over top the counters, the cabinets in your kitchen.
The wives love that. They do. It's a real...
yes.
Adds a real ambiance to the room.
Yeah, it brings that frat house appearance really to life.
Yeah, look, when I met my current wife, I had exactly that same thing, so I have no room to talk.
Hashtag bachelor pad.
Exactly. Oh, man. So, David, you didn't drink through the whole month of June. I have to ask, have you noticed any health benefits from not drinking booze for a whole month?
No.
Isn't that why your doctor told you not to drink?
Well, I mean, one of them was like, "Oh, if you just do for 30 days, you'll drop weight and do this, and you'll feel so much better." And I'm, no, none of the stuff that you said was gonna be a benefit actually happened. So I'm gonna go back to drinking, and we're gonna try something else. Right. Maybe this eat right and exercise thing has something to it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you need to do all three together. Like, I think that was like a bundle deal, is what that is.
But if one thing alone, so if you eat right, you're going to lose weight and feel better. If you exercise and eat like shit, you're gonna lose weight and feel better.
To a degree, yeah.
So logically, there is no reason to cut out the drink.
True. Well, look. Well, beer especially has a lot of calories in it. As I drink my beer.
Yeah. So as you drink your beer, you've got that one. Do you have a backup beer?
Well, I do. So he got me a 4-pack. He got me 2 of these Kolsch's.
Okay.
And he got 2 Ocean View
that just
IPAs.
Looks refreshing.
Now, I'm not an IPA guy, but I'll give it a try. The Kolsch, man, the Kolsch is great. It is crisp.
Kolsch is really good. Anybody who hasn't had one and you're on the fence about drinking beer, don't start with the Kolsch. Start with the Hefeweizen from Hofbrauhaus.
Well, always
right there in Columbus.
Always go for the Hefeweizen from Hofbrau. Speaking of which, one of the reasons some of regulars might not be watching tonight is tonight is their keg tapping. It would normally be on Tuesday, but because obviously the holiday, they postponed it by a day. So, man, it sounds like it's gonna be a great time tonight. Wish I could be there.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have a hoot of a time down there. I'm gonna try to push this door shut a little bit, try to keep as much air in there as possible.
Yeah, good idea. So is that a
Yeah.
ginger
So
beer
yeah,
or is that
it's
just a ginger ale?
ginger ale. Ginger ale. As far as ginger ales go, it's about as close to a ginger beer as you can get a ginger ale.
Well, so ginger ale typically doesn't have alcohol. Ginger beer typically does. I don't know
This is a
why. It
ginger
says
ale.
ale. But I love a ginger ale. It's pretty tasty.
Yeah. Holy moly.
You add a little bit of rum to that.
Okay, I can't have sugar for the next 3 weeks.
That's a lot of sugar.
This there's a lot of sugar in it.
is it
Wow.
just like crunchy when you drink it? It's like those lemonades from the fair.
I might crystallize right before you go outside. Oh, so I'm on vacation. You were on vacation a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
We're making it happen, making it work.
Look, we're still here. 156 episodes in. We haven't missed one yet. We've come close to missing one, but haven't missed one yet. We're in it to win it, David.
That was very close.
In it to win it.
Yes, very close. We got some Instagrammers over here on the on another balcony. I'm watching them in the reflection.
There you go. They shooting photos or they doing a video?
Oh yeah, they're doing their little. Well, they might be doing a little bit of video, but the hair flip photos,
Right.
all the stuff. I mean, they looked at my hair and said, "Oh my God, look at that frizzy hair."
It's true. They gotta fix the frizz before you go on the Insta. I think that's what the kids say.
Get it for the grab.
Do not get yourself kicked out of your hotel, David. That's all I gotta say.
I'm not getting kicked out. I would have to do something pretty stupid to get kicked out of a hotel.
Well, it is Florida. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm jealous though, man. I wish I could be there.
It's a good time. I'll tell you, the one that's coming up here soon is New York.
You live in New York.
I've got to get. I live in New York, but I don't live in that New York. Two very separate.
I'm excited to go on vacation in the state where I live.
No. I'm not saying vacation. There is the Trump Tower down in Manhattan that has a bourbon bar there.
I've seen the photos.
And it's called, I think it's called the 45 or something like that. The 45th, right? And there's a specific seat there that I'm like, that one. That's where I'm sitting. It costs, I don't care. That's where I'm sitting. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'll have to get you. You were saying you're jealous to be. You wish you were here, but I think that would be the trip.
When are you going?
When you want to go to. I don't know. I want to get back. I got some plans. A couple of my clients are down there, and so I've got to work it out with them and get on their schedule to see. There's some kind of a massive fish market. Apparently, one of the largest fish markets on this side of the planet. And they're wanting me to take a look at some engineering stuff for it. So
okay, well, look, you don't want the fish market catching fire, so it's big business. I get it.
Yeah,
it would smell delicious if it did, though. I mean, it would be.
I'm just sitting here thinking there's got to be a taco truck joke in there.
Right,
taco truck.
Look, it would smell delicious. Got a fish fry.
Yeah. Yes. The seasoning market across the street.
Exactly.
Rush to the rescue.
Was it the Old Bay seasoning factory right next door?
That'd be up a little higher in New England, but yeah, like McCormick's or something.
There you go.
So we had a topic. I glanced over it about how to stand out. Like we stand out because we do our show live and drunk most of the time.
Look, it's helped us so far. We're still going. So I don't have anything from the news, but I did find this post that I think is pretty cool, that I think kind of applies to our topic today.
Okay.
So I got to share this. Okay. A bottle of water can be $1 at a supermarket, $2 at the gym, $3 at the movies, and $6 on a plane. The same water. The only change is the only thing that changes its value was the place. So the next time you feel your worth is nothing, maybe you're in the wrong place. So it kind of applies to what we're talking about today. Look, depending on how you market yourself and place yourself in your market, you can set your own price. And if you feel like you're not making the sales, you need to go someplace else. Just like we've said in the past, look, if you feel like you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Wrong room.
Although David always feels like he's the smartest one in the room, because half the time he is, half the time he just thinks he is.
No. I always look to make sure I'm in the right room I try to like when I go to meetings, I select the confabs and the stuff we do internal. I don't want to be where I'm the subject matter expert. I want to be the one that's adding to the conversation
Yeah.
with a lot of dumb questions.
Right. Look, and the thing is you're actually really good at choosing the right room. I know this because your networking skills are next level. Your networking
yes.
is unbelievable. You're the
Yeah,
only person I've ever known who, no matter where we go, anywhere we travel, you know somebody or somebody knows you for some odd reason. It's weird.
It does happen quite a bit. And it hasn't not happened on this trip as of yet, but I'm heading to the cigar lounge in a bit, so I'm thinking it's probably going to change.
Let me know what
yeah,
other.
that's a good post.
Yeah, that was a great post, and
that's a good post. I like it. I've seen it before, and it does go to a lot. And if you don't feel like you matter, if you don't feel like your value's not being recognized, it may not be. It literally just can be your location. You're not somewhere where they're valuing your skills or something, in that realm.
And this can apply to
change.
And it can apply to your personal life. It can apply to your, business, your product or service you're trying to market. It can apply to your day job. Look, I can't tell you how many day jobs I've been in where they did not understand the value that was being brought to that company. And only after, I left was that made apparent. And I think we've all been in that position.
Yeah. It's real easy for a business to make that miss. And then you look at it from a business standpoint, if you are trying to make those sales, and this is one of the things that there's a product that in my 9 to 5, which is not a 9 to 5 world, in my daily job, that we're trying to push. And the moment that I heard about it, the moment I see it, yes, I actually love the platform. I love what it is. But I think we're marketing it to the wrong people. Mm-hmm. Whoever set the avatar for this line did not do their due diligence, or they would have put this in a completely different category. And most importantly, I probably would have not heard about it for another 2 or 3 years.
Right.
In 2 or 3 years, it matters to me if it's adopted over here on this other thing. But now we're fighting an uphill battle nonstop, trying to push and force adoption to people who it doesn't bring actual value. So it is an uphill battle. But if we were to shift this over and hit the right market, it would take off like wildfire.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for that reason, we need to do another show on building an avatar, building customer profile.
Yeah, we mentioned that last week. So next week, I don't have my work phone, so checking my calendar on this phone will do me no good.
Right.
I'm on vacation. I didn't bring a laptop.
Yeah.
I brought an iPad and an earpiece to do my podcast.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's smart. Leave all your work stuff behind.
No ties whatsoever, and only one of my customers has this phone.
Nice.
So, and unless something is literally on fire, he will not call me. But yeah, so I'm thinking next week I'll be back at the home office, and we should be able to, being in our normal surroundings makes it a lot easier for those types of calls, those types of shows. So maybe next week will be a good one. The week after that, I'll definitely be back on the road.
Okay, yeah, you for a guy who says he's not going to travel very much anymore, you travel a lot.
Travel all that much, not that bad.
Only 4 out of 5 days. It's fine. It's you're doing well. It's working out. So anyway, we do actually have a topic for today, which is,
we do.
And it's one that we can all relate to.
So the topic tonight is witches. So didn't get it.
Which is yeah, it is. There you go. I didn't get the dad joke right away. It took a minute.
I don't have Salem, Mass in my territory. I love going to Salem. Salem is awful.
I've never been there. Are there is there a lot of witch stuff? Is it a witchy place?
Yes. So, some people when they get famous for something, they kind of shy away from it.
They're embracing
they try to distance themselves. They have fully embraced, and they are capitalizing on it hand over fist.
Well, look, why wouldn't they? I mean, the tourist industry has got to be booming for that sort of thing.
Yeah, goth chicks and crystal lovers, man. they're just
Sure.
begging to give away money.
Goth chicks, crystal lovers have a cookout with the meat shaped like a
Yeah.
like a green lady on a broom.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
it's big business.
it's a big thing down there. But I do have Sleepy Hollow now.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So
That's pretty awesome.
So for Halloween this year, that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go down to Sleepy Hollow.
Dude, that would be good. That'd be a fun Halloween.
All because you said which is.
Yep. That's how tangents are born. That's how that happens.
That's how dad joke tangents work. ladies and gentlemen.
David,
All
I've said
right.
it before. Your kids are lucky people.
I'm hilarious.
You.
It's a free comedy show every day.
It's your laugh riot, is what it is.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
So, we actually do have a main topic aside from dad jokes. We could keep going though, if you guys want more dad jokes.
Thought you were going to say which is again.
Which is.
I really thought you were going to say which is again. I'm like, and I was literally going to say, all right, well, if we're going to do it, let's do it upright. I was going to do exactly the same thing again.
I didn't tee it up for you this time. Sorry, David.
Getting stuck in the do loop.
But see, now I'm trying not to say it, and I'm having a hard time speaking.
That was cold. That was cold when it was brought out to me, and now it's mildly cool. All right, our topic tonight is standing out in a crowd.
5 ways for your business to stand out in a saturated market. Yes. So, anybody who has a business or product or service definitely knows it is hard to stand out because I promise you, there are really, really few products, businesses, or services that are not in a completely oversaturated market. One of the things that I always do is obviously I do, market research on one of my main products here, which is Underdog Brew Bones. Go to underdogplus.com to learn more about those, or to watch any one of our other shows, and I talk about it incessantly. But
that's just recently. Some of the old stuff, some of the classics. There's just a hint.
There you go, just a hint, and now it's full on. But if you have a product or service,
full frontal west.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. But if you have a product or service, you want to do the market research, right? And one of the things that can be discouraging is seeing so many other people doing almost identical products or services to you. And some of them are doing really well, and some of them are not doing so well. Usually you're stuck there in the middle, and you're like, man. And it can be discouraging when you see all this stuff going on. And doesn't matter what it is. Name a product or service. I promise you, it's a saturated market. So one of the things you need to do is learn how to stand out in that saturated market. Stand out from the crowd without being spammy or over salesy, right? Because, no offense, David, but most people hate salespeople. And I don't qualify you as a salesman. I think you're more of a networker, and you make it work.
Yes. I hate salesmen so bad. I mean,
right.
I hate them.
Because people can tell when they're being sold to. Even if they're like being real sneaky about it, people know. People can tell when they're being sold to.
Yeah. It's tough. So the best thing about me being a salesman is I don't try to be a salesman.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, I
can solve a problem. That's what I'll do.
Right. And I'm in marketing. And honestly, marketing and sales, we need to do another show just on the difference between marketing and sales. I think one of our first 5 shows was on that. But it was one of my main shortcomings, I think, is sales, because I'm so anti-salesy that I actually get nervous. I get tongue-tied when I start speaking to people about my product. Like if I approach a business that I think wants to sell my product, I'll get tongue-tied when I'm speaking to them because I'm excited about it. I know internally they kind of don't care. They kind of do. They kind of don't. But it's not my strong suit, approaching these people and selling to them. So how do you do it without being salesy? How do you stand out in that saturated market without being salesy or cheesy, right?
I say you get a cigar and some good grease from your axle in your car and slick your hair back.
Ooh, that's a good look.
And that right there, that's the perfect way to go in as a salesman.
That's a good look.
You would never make it because the moment somebody's seen you, they'd be like, hey, I got some used cars for you to sell.
Yeah, well, we got to be careful there. We actually know some used car salesmen. Or ex-used car salesmen.
So?
Exactly. I got to do more finger guns. That would help me sell, I think.
Yeah.
they love that. But, so we
got
basically broke it down into 5 main things that you can do to stand out from the crowd. And the first one is one that we've talked about a lot, David, and I think we're going to continue talking about it because it's super important, is embrace your niche, right? So you need to pick your niche down. We're not gonna go into the tangents about niches that we did last week. That was a mess.
Oh my God. Oh, so your sister posted it or shared it or something, and I put the exact minute. I was like, go back and watch this minute of space.
You told my
where
sister to
we
go back
just
and watch the
completely
tangents about the niche?
Yes.
Thanks.
And she said, what's your nephew? He's like, what, 13, 14, 15 years old, something like
Yeah,
that?
he's a younger guy.
I think that. And she's like, that could have been my 15-year-old son in this. I'm like, you do know we don't mature past 15, right?
No.
That's just
No men mature past 15.
That's the cap.
That's it. That's as high as a man's maturity goes, actually.
Oh man. So go back. I'm not going to tell you guys what minute because I don't remember. And B, you should watch it all to give us more minutes viewed.
It's true.
But we watched last week. Oh my gosh. You want to talk about a total absolute breakdown in anything resembling professionalism? That is what happened. That is what happened.
Look.
What happened was we got deep in the niche and it just
it breaks down pretty quick.
And the bird poop coffee.
Yeah, the bird poop coffee. That was something else. Look,
Yeah,
that's a niche. That's a niche. So look, so part of understanding your niche is understanding your target audience. And David, we already touched on this earlier in the show. You need to understand your audience, your customer avatar, your customer profile. And the more you understand them, the more you'll understand what they're interested in. And chances are, if your product is positioned well, you're going to be appealing to a smaller audience. Because the problem is, when you try to appeal to everyone, you're going to appeal to no one. You're going to be vanilla. You're going to be drowned out.
Yeah, you're going to get lost. You're going to get lost in the din, and your market share will be your bomb.
Right. So if you can appeal to a slightly smaller audience, a niche audience, it's much easier to stand out because not only is there less competition, but you know specifically who you're speaking with whom you are speaking. Sorry.
Yeah. So for you, right now, I mean, the dog treats in general, pet supplies, we have massive multi-billion dollar online presence. We have individual brick and mortar stores that are dedicated to nothing except pets. Excuse me. And we have large sections of big box retailers that are dedicated to pets.
Mm-hmm.
So just so we can throw an example out there, your niche is artisanal treats.
Well,
no fillers.
Right. So the niche in my case, in this case, is going to be people who have slightly higher disposable income because they're going to spend a little bit more on higher quality treats. They don't want the treats that cost $3 for a 5-pound tub at the big box store down the street because they understand those are terrible for your pet. A lot of those treats that you buy for $1 for a pound, they're full of chemicals and preservatives and artificial colors and carcinogens, and they don't want that.
Nothing but
right.
Yes, nothing but filler.
Right. So the artisanal part plays into it, but also the people who are a little more interested in healthy benefits for their pet, people who are willing to spend a little bit more. Yeah, people who are willing to spend a little bit more for their pets. So more the pet lover than just the pet owner. You know what I mean?
So there's a show that we could put together. I think would do well, and it would be the basically the XY axis, and to build a graph and show the market that is, your bottom left-hand corner is I do the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm willing to do more for a bit of value. And then there's I am willing to spend a premium on what I want. And what I want is a higher quality. So quality cost and just start putting your markets in there. And you may not want, and this is what we're talking about is embracing your niche. You're not trying to play the line all the way up. You're trying to find a spot on that line, and that's your market. That's your That's where that needs to be part of your avatar building. We should
Right.
work that into the avatar.
Yeah, let's definitely do that. Let's talk about that. That's a great idea, and that's totally it. I mean, it's finding that happy balance. You know, study your P&L, study your audience, study your where your product sits on this scale of value versus cost.
Okay, I'd like to make it known that that's the first time in history that an advertising person has used the words P&L. I didn't honestly think they knew what P&L were.
Yeah, most
so-
marketing people do not understand P&L, but you know, once you actually start running your own businesses, you kind of learn
Yeah,
these
once you have
things.
your own business, you have to get it. You have to understand it. Yes.
But it's all very
Yes.
important, and we will actually
Yes.
go into that. But you know, number two, the number two thing you should do to stand out in a saturated market actually really blends in well with the first one. The first one being, of course, embracing your niche. The second is add extra value, understanding the value proposition for your product. And to understand your value proposition, you need to understand what's valuable to your customer, right? So understanding your customer, understanding the customer avatar, you can learn what's more valuable to them. Because look, what's valuable to me is going to be very different from what's valuable to my current wife or to her friends. What's valuable to me might be different from the guy walking down the street. So when you understand your target audience, you can understand what's valuable to them, and you can market based on those values. So again, you need to understand what adds extra value as well. So guess what? Dog treat, most people aren't going to find just a normal dog treat that valuable. So, of course, I embrace the health aspects of what makes these dog treats better. I embrace the natural ingredients and the locally sourced aspect of the ingredients. I embrace the idea that 20% of all of my profits go to local pet rescues, right? So when you buy a bag of these, you're not just buying a bag of dog treats, you're also donating to a local pet rescue. So that plays a big part of it as well. And again, for my particular niche, for my target audience, that's actually very important, I found.
Yeah. So that's in your market research and as you're developing that avatar, those are the types of things. Supporting good causes, especially when it comes to animals, people can really get behind. And damn, that looks like a good beer.
It's a really good beer. You're missing out.
Yeah, I've decided. I did have my classic hotel paper cup available here for my bourbon, just in case I decided to crack and open it. But I think I've decided against that.
You're
easier to transport.
You're a strong man, David. You're a strong man.
It does look like a damn good beer. What was that? Who was the brewery on that?
This is Ocean View Brewing Company from Delaware.
Okay.
Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. I don't know where that is.
Rehoboth Beach. Yeah.
There, yeah, one of
Rehoboth
those.
Beach is on the south end of Delaware.
But it's pretty tasty. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So anyway, add extra value. Basically, what you can do is you can, something that people often do, and I'm thinking of doing this myself, is adding a subscription plan. And as part of the subscription plan, you can offer discounts that just apply to them regularly. A lot of companies do this through loyalty programs, things like that. A little extra value. And just any little thing that you can put out there that your competition isn't doing, that adds value to your product and service. Let's say you have a car washing business, right? And you do something that goes above and beyond what your competition does as far as washing those cars or detailing those cars. Guess what? You just won more business because you are doing more than them. You're adding more value.
I mean, and then we're not talking about this stuff. We're not talking this value add. This is nothing new. Look at I'm trying to think of something old here. Bazooka Joe bubblegum.
Sure, those little jokes, the little comic strips.
Yeah, the little comic strips.
Those were fun for the kids.
That was a value add.
After you break your tooth on the bubblegum, you get to read the little comics while you're waiting the dentist.
Those, oh my lord, those things were absolutely.
They were made of pink concrete.
Yeah, very similar ingredient list, I believe. So things. I mean, it doesn't have to be. You're like, well, I don't know if I want to get involved in charity because there's all the taxing and okay, all right, that's may not be your way of bringing that.
Well, yeah, that was just one example. There's any number of ways, yeah.
Yeah, Moo Moo Car Wash right there in Columbus, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You go through car wash, you get a free air freshener every time.
That's a value add. Absolutely. Now, you may or may not like the smell of those car air fresheners, but it
Yeah.
is what it is. Another one, if you are environmentally minded, Brewdog. They have company initiatives that make their brand more enticing. One of the things that they keep pushing is the fact that they are the first carbon negative
Carbon
brewery,
negative.
carbon negative brewery in the world, and they really push that hard. They have other, socially active initiatives that don't necessarily push a particular product, but it entices you towards their brand as a whole. So there's any number of things that you can do. Whether it's a physical product that you add, whether it's just an extra service that you add, whether it's just the values of your business can be a value add for the customer.
I think drinking with James Watt was the best value add we've gotten out of Brewdog.
That was pretty fun. That was. I have to admit, look, you keep pushing it back because you were the one who got us at that table, and man, I wouldn't have been there without you.
It was a great night. It was a good time.
It was.
That poor guy. We must have asked the CEO 5 times what the hell he did. He was like CEO
of the company. Yeah, he's not with them anymore, so I don't feel so bad. But it was at least comical. It was an interesting night.
It was. Yeah, it was good. We did a lot of good drinking for a bunch of good people.
Oh,
man. I'm not a hippie, but when somebody can do something and produce a good product and do things that are above and beyond, and plus from a business minded standpoint, I'm going, they are keying in on their target audience, and this means a lot to their target audience. So, make your bitter beers and embrace the hippieism.
Well, and look, for a company that started by brewing beer in the garage, I mean, I think they've done well for themselves. So,
you know what? We're going to start a business in our garage. I mean, because the big successful guys, they're all in their garages.
I need to that's what I need to do. So I need to start making these in my garage. So from now on, I'm going to kick my current wife out of the garage. I'm going to commandeer it for Underdog, and we're going to make Underdog Brew Bones in the garage. It'll be a garage business.
Next week on selecting the #1 divorce attorney in your market.
Exactly. What's the value add? I got to find out.
Indeed. All right, so that's #1 and 2. What's #3?
Collaborate for success. #3 is collaborate. So,
we have talked about this.
We've definitely talked about this, and it's always important. Of course, 2 heads are better than 1, unless they're both drunk at the time because they've been drinking rum with a pirate. But when you can
that was a hell of a night.
That was a fun night. But when you can collaborate with anybody else that has an audience different from your own or slightly different from your own, you're not only benefiting from having the extra input, you're also getting direct access to their audience. Collaborations are good for them. It's good for you. And especially if you can find a collaborator who's bigger than you, it's obviously much better for you. But the point is, find somebody interested in your product, somebody who has at least some kind of overlap with your niche or your audience, and work with them. Do videos, do posts together, work something out where you're posting each other's stuff. If you can get somebody else to, talk about your product or service on their social channels, I mean, it can work wonders. I've done a little bit of collaboration on my the Pipe channel, which I haven't done anything on there in a long time.
You get back on that.
I do. I know I do.
I know you've got a lot of pokers in the fire at the moment.
But, when I started doing that, the growth was just exponential. It's unbelievable how much collaboration can really play into that. And, a lot of times you'll hear people talk about influencers. You need to get influencer marketing. Collaborations are basically just another form of influencer marketing. If you can get a big influencer to collaborate with you, that's fantastic. I recommend the micro-influencers, the influencers who are still very, very small, but slightly larger than you. That's your sweet spot. That's where you want to be. And the more of them you can get talking about you and your product or service, the better. It's going to work like magic as far as growing an audience.
So I've been watching, I can't say it like that, David. That's creepy and weird. There are 2 musicians. One of them plays bagpipes. One of them plays an electric violin. And, I love bagpipes. Absolutely love bagpipes. And that's what got me into it, was just a bagpipe video. I think I was watching Kevin Klaus, one of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Facebook was like, oh, you like this? and it started me down that video rabbit hole, right?
Okay.
And this has been over a year, I'd say, at least over a year. Well, yeah, actually, well over a year now. And so I started watching this one, and then she started collaborating with this person who does electric violin.
Cool.
They actually went on tour. Together, and I didn't get none of the shows were close to me, but I'm keeping an eye out. There's still some more. I'm gonna go check them out. But they just launched a whole new social media channel and kind of a business together.
Oh, cool.
As a just almost a prolonged collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know,
and there are some other people that I want to put them in contact with.
Yeah.
Because it would be a major value add to them.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Forge, the guy who makes the knives and the swords and stuff like that,
right?
He makes this whole Viking series of decorative axes and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that if that group got together, the market would just be.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be super cool. So, one of the things I love about, craft breweries is they're always collaborating. How often do you see, two local tiny craft breweries doing a collaboration beer together? They don't view each other as competition. They view each other as collaborators. They work together. And now the live studio audience is here. My son. Locke, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Lachlan. How are you today?
Good.
Is it the morning time?
No.
No. Hey, what'd you do today?
It's close enough.
I stayed home and played in the pool.
You were in the pool all day. Was it hot?
Home. Yes, it was 90 degrees here.
90 degrees here. It's pretty hot. David's at the beach. Don't you wish you were at the beach today?
Kind of.
Yeah, the beach sounds pretty great.
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't mind the beach, but I don't have to wash sand off of me before getting out of my pool. When I get out of my pool and walk into my house.
That's true. See, you don't get all sandy when you're at home.
And there's a lot to be said about that.
Yeah, no kidding. So Locke, what do you like better, the pool or the beach? Because when we were at the beach, you were in the pool a lot.
The pool.
You kind of like the pool. He likes the pool.
That actually, I always laugh. I was like, why do you need a pool if your beach is right there? And then we stayed at a place over in the Jacksonville area on Neptune Beach called One Ocean.
Yeah.
A few years ago. And they had the pool out there by the beach. And we were like, all right. We'd come through off the beach, get the little shower thing they had to wash the sand off you, and then boom, into the freshwater pool.
Right into the pool.
And it's cooler, a lot cooler than being in the ocean. So it's kind of refreshing. Now, over here, we're in the Gulf over here in Clearwater. And the water is so warm, so warm. No complaining from my current wife. Mm-hmm. No complaining from my offspring. Just boom, water go, and they're enjoying it.
Yeah, the Gulf side is great. That's where all the warm water is.
Yeah.
The Pacific side.
So
that's cool.
Lachlan, is that? Yeah. The Pacific is absolutely frigid.
Or sorry,
Lachlan, is that
if you're
your
on the
favorite
Pacific
pipe?
side of Florida, you're in big trouble.
No. Well, the
Atlantic side. That's what I meant to say.
But if you go out to the, if you go to the Pacific Ocean, it's even colder than the Atlantic.
Oh yeah, Pacific Ocean's no joke. That's cold. So sorry, what were you going to say? You're talking to Locke.
It's cold. I was asking Lachlan, is that his favorite pipe?
Was that your favorite pipe? Yeah, he doesn't smoke pipes very often these days, so he's trying to cut back.
Not very often. Trying to cut back. So I'll tell you what. Make a rule. Every time you're going to smoke a pipe, you have to wear a bow tie.
It's true. It's true. I always wear my pipe bow tie. That's how I do it. I'm pretty cool.
What
is a pipe bow tie?
He's making a joke.
It's a bow tie you wear when you're smoking a pipe.
Okay.
A pipe bow tie. Well, part of that was complicated.
It's
what animal is on the microphone?
Yeah. Hey, Catherine, what animal is this?
A sloth.
A sloth? Where'd you get the sloth? Where'd you get that sloth from? Okay. They're starting to eat me. Okay. Time to go, guys. Good night. Get out of here. Get out of here.
When they switch to zombie mode, it's time to bid them a farewell.
Once they turn full cannibal, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
That means the day is past all logic, and everything from here out is going to be empty at best.
Yeah, they were up really late last night from the fireworks, so they're a little tired today. But anyway, that's one of the reasons I love craft beers. Craft breweries, they collaborate all the time. They're making, collaboration beers here and there. They don't view each other as competition necessarily. They view each other as potential collaborators. And
Collaborators and partners.
I think there are more people in other industries who need to start viewing things that way. It's not competition; it's potential collaboration. I don't have competition; I have potential collaborators. Right? Let's view it that way. Let's keep that in mind.
Back before I left Columbus, and I worked for Hard over there, Hard Fire, and I used to tell them all the time. I'd have people come to me and say, "Oh, this is your competition." I'm like, I actually don't have competition. And they look at me like, "All right, wise ass." Like, I don't have competition. I have partners.
Right, and that's the funny thing. When you say, "Oh, I don't have competition," people automatically assume you're being cocky, like, "Oh, I'm so good, I don't have competition." Yeah. No, I don't mean it that way.
I mean, I have partners.
Right.
I call them when I need them. They call me when they need me. We work together. We get through things. Life safety is the goal.
Right. That's exactly how it should be.
They're like, "Wow, we need more people like you." Hey, you look like I was a dick there a moment ago, bud.
Right. Exactly.
But it's okay. It's okay. People can misunderstand me.
You're so good that people often misunderstand that you're just being humble. It's a humble brag.
I'm so amazingly humble.
Your humility is breathtaking, David.
It's a beacon to all, really.
But anyway, yeah,
I don't try for humble at all, by the way. If it doesn't come across that way, that's really not the game.
Where there's a Dave, there's a way. I've heard that many times just today.
Where there's a Dave, there's a way. I'll figure it out.
But honestly, in any industry, with any product, any service, when you reframe your way of thinking to be, I don't have competition, I have potential collaborators, it can change everything. It'll really change the way you look at your entire, roadmap for your product or service. So it really, it's your view of how you're looking at things. It really changes things. So I recommend look at collaborators and not competition. Number four.
Yes.
Is stay true to your brand. And, we haven't done a full branding show in quite a while. Yeah. So, but.
And never, ever, 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 ever alienate your core.
You sound like you have a story there, David.
Oh, no. There's just been, in the past, handful of months, there's been some real good examples.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Right. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So we're not going to get political, so we're not going to bring up other examples
of... We're not going to talk about the brand.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the brands. We're not going to use their names. We are going to talk about the brands, but we're not going to use their names of people who really just didn't understand who was purchasing their product.
Right. Well, it wasn't true to the brand they'd built up to this point. And they went for a dramatic left turn on some certain things, and boy, it did not work out well. I don't think that was part of the plan.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think they're upwards of $80 billion now lost. I mean, we're talking.
And
they're probably okay.
And there are ways around that too. So David, one of the reasons we're not talking about it is because it gets very close to politics, right? And we always say
it charges politically very quickly.
Right. And we always say, unless your business is politics, keep your business out of politics. And that was one of the things this company didn't hold to. They started to get very political very quickly, and it backfired. But there are ways around that. There are some companies who sell a pretty good product or service, and their whole deal is they were political from day one, and people know this, and they still love the product. Look at Ben & Jerry's, okay? Ben & Jerry's. Very, very polarizing politically with all of their social posts, where the company stands, their mission statement. But they make amazing ice cream, and people know it going in. They've always been that way, right? So
I've never been there. They're out of what, Vermont?
I don't know. They sell. I've never been to a brick and mortar store, but I know they sell the ice cream everywhere. My point is, though, is that's part of their brand, right? So when they post political stuff, they are staying true to their brand. Other companies, possibly shouldn't. Let's hypothetically, let's say, Yeti. I got a Yeti right here. If Yeti all of a sudden came out and started posting ultra political posts, left wing, right wing doesn't matter, they're not staying true to the brand that they built. Nobody buys a Yeti because they're political. They buy a Yeti because they like the outdoorsiness. They like the great marketing. They like the great quality of the product. So stay true to your brand, and you can absolutely step away from the overly saturated market, away from the competition, away from the crowd. I know I said competition.
Burlington, Vermont. I thought.
So but it can be even simpler than that. When you're posting on social media, have a certain aesthetic that you stick with. Use the same logo, use the same fonts, use the same look and feel for the stuff that you post. Use the same voice. That's where understanding your customer avatar comes in. Because, again, I always say this, you're going to speak to your grandmother differently from how you're going to speak to a frat boy, right? And part of that is your brand. How you speak to your customer is part of your brand.
Yeah.
So there's any number of
Absolutely.
ways that you can stay true to your brand beyond just specifically talking about this or not talking about that. Sorry, Dead Air, I had to have a drink.
Yes, I was like, I can jump in here, or I can just make it awkward and let some dead air float.
No, it's fine. You know what? Dead air while we drink, it's perfectly acceptable.
I let some dead air float. Man.
Right.
It was good.
So
It was good. So yeah. So we're on the number 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Recap our 4.
So number 1, embrace your niche. Number 2 actually grows out of that, which is add extra value. What's the value out of your product or service?
Not always a good thing having stuff growing out of your niche.
It's getting dangerous. David hasn't even been drinking today. Number 3, collaborate.
I wasn't drinking last week.
Collaborate for success. Oh, yeah, that was a shirt show. And number 4 is stay true to your brand. So you'll actually notice how these actually grow out of each other, how these actually come, full circle and actually expand off of the previous one because they're all related.
Yes, and you're able to use it as a checks and balances as well. Does this next step fit with the previous step? Does the next step fit with the previous step?
Right. If they contradict each other, you need to take a second look.
Yeah, you need to go back and relook at it.
Absolutely. So staying true to your brand, ultra important. Number 5 is consistency is key. Speaking of which, I love your t-shirt, David.
I try to wear it on every podcast, to be consistent.
You're very consistent. Consistency over time equals success, and that is one of our t-shirts. I need to get those up on a new shop. So we did have that up on the Teespring account, and that's still live. We don't push very often now, but now that I'm selling other merch on UnderdogPlus.com, I'm using Printful, which is a different print-on-demand service, and I need to get our Underdog stuff on there as well. So go to UnderdogPlus.com, check out the merch on there, check out the dog treats. I promise you, your pup will thank you.
Yeah,
I had to get that plug in there.
We bought 5 bags. My dog's in the kennel this week, so we sent her with a bag and a half. Of treats.
That's awesome.
Just for her to have, by way of apology, that she had to be in a kennel, not only in a kennel for the whole week while we're gone, Sunday to Sunday, actually Saturday to Sunday for her, and over 4th of July. So she had to be there with the thunder and the fireworks.
Oh,
and
man.
So.
Does your dog freak out with the fireworks?
She's not a fan of it, but not necessarily freaking out.
Yeah, our dog likes to sleep in the closet during fireworks days. And I heard an old man stumbling down my stairs. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Is it still going on?
We're still live.
Thank God I didn't miss it.
We were missing you.
We've got one more niche product thing to talk about, and I've got 10% of battery on my iPad to do it. So
okay.
Let's roll.
We'll try and make it quick then. But with consistency, so your brand's recognizability, that's a good word for you. Recognizability is vital. Basically, you want to maintain the look and feel and, again, consistency of that brand. So it can go beyond just posting on a regular basis. It also means, again, like we mentioned previously, having the same voice, having the same aesthetic, consistently over time will build that brand recognition. Again, see how these things all build upon each other. So consistency is absolutely key.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah. So if you look, I
Yeah.
mean, the Energizer Bunny's not a terrible look. I was just trying to think of something that if we were to flash it up on the screen, that you would hear the words and know the message without a single audible tone.
I have a great
So
example. So, I went to school for graphic design, so I noticed these things probably more than other people, I guess. But in the early 2000s, you could see any ad, and you would know immediately if it was a Target ad or not because they had the same look, the same feel, the same aesthetic. Without ever seeing the Target logo, you knew it was a Target ad because they were that consistent with what they were doing. They've done some things since then that haven't been that they've broken that. They've switched marketing agencies, things like that. But Bank One used to do that. They actually had a very specific aesthetic as far as colors, logos, fonts they had to use, and you knew exactly what you were looking at before you ever saw a logo. So that plays a big role in it.
Well, although in California, I can't say for the rest of the country, but in
Yeah.
California,
There you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about that.
So
What's that noise?
it's David's pool background.
Oh, for the love of
He's at the pool.
Is he in Vegas?
No, he's in Florida.
Hey, speaking of consistently, why don't you consistently charge their iPad before a show?
It's true, David. You should plug that thing in.
I will as soon as the show's over.
All right. Well, okay. So number 5 is consistency is key. Number 6, let's get to it. Focus on your goals. So a lot of people, especially when they're starting out a product or service or business of any type, unless they're starting out, with a corporate background, they're just under the mindset of, build it and they will come. Just make this stuff, put it out there, and they don't really have a roadmap. They don't really have specific goals set up. And guess what? That's the reason most new businesses fail, is because they don't have these goals in mind. They don't have a full roadmap built out, and they don't understand how to achieve those goals because of it.
So from my aspect of it, from my world, the fire protection world, I've seen a lot of technicians who are the guys out there that actually turn the screwdrivers and do the work, and they think that, oh, well, I can go off and instead of making $25 or $30 an hour, I can go and I can charge half the price on an hourly rate that my current employer does, and I can take all their business.
Mm-hmm.
And forgetting about all of the actual business stuff. So they might pick up a customer for a short amount of time, and it might be, looking very good to them for 5-6 months. But then when they have competition or
Mm-hmm.
something gets outside of their scope, how do they handle that? But they haven't went through any of these 5 steps. And the biggest to me is number 6 is goals.
Right.
And you got to make sure everything you are doing is pointing at those goals. I love business buzzwords. People know it. I'm not the guy who creates drinking games. I am. But the idea of a North Star or a mission statement, something that you can utilize day in and day out to make sure that everything that your business is doing is pushing towards that goal.
Right. So it's not just a matter of setting goals. You need to build a roadmap to specifically to those goals, and you need to track your progress along the way. As far as if you're running any type of actual marketing, track your social, the performance of your social posts. Here's a drinking buzzword for you: KPIs. You need to set KPIs.
Key performance
Right.
indicator,
For everything that you do, key performance indicators. Because what that's going to do is those are goals, specific smaller goals for all of your smaller initiatives that lead to a larger goal.
Yeah.
And I need to drink from you.
They're the corpse of the atom.
I gotta call.
They're what make up the bigger whole.
I don't think you're accurate on that.
Okay,
let's
hear why.
And here's why. So you start a small business, you got to make things a lot less complicated than that. Nobody's going to do KPIs their first couple of years. I mean, maybe if they've got your kind of.
You're right. Only the successful ones do.
That's an interesting point. I would like to know the KPIs on the Underdog incredible tasting Dog biscuit.
Yeah, if coming from a man who's actually eaten them, yes.
Yes, delicious.
Right.
Absolutely. What are your KPIs?
Well, so I have smaller KPIs, I have larger KPIs. So basically, and each of your KPIs, key performance indicators, are going to speak to smaller initiatives that lead to a larger goal. So my smaller initiatives are to reach out to individual companies who want to sell my treats. Because here's the thing: I can sell a ton of treats online, but I can sell even more if I actually sell through brick and mortar locations that have walk-up sales from people with dogs. So, certain indicators are the success of how many I've reached out to, how much feedback I've gotten from them, how many I've actually sold through these organizations. Those then lead into my larger goals of changing equipment, getting real kitchen space, and again, it builds, it builds, it builds.
So KPIs would then be considered like the subdivisions of a goal.
Yes,
So
yes,
the mathematical tracking of a goal.
basically, yeah.
Good enough?
Right, and
I stand corrected.
it can even be your social posts. I want X number of interactions on this post. I want this much reach with this post. One of the things that's put a damper on some of my social initiatives is the fact that somebody, I'm not going to mention any names, has flagged every single one of my posts as having inappropriate content. I literally had a blog post about how often you should brush your dog's teeth, and I couldn't boost it because somebody said it was posting inappropriate content, and Facebook has a natural inclination of guilty until proven innocent, and there's no way to appeal it. So I'm not going to mention any names, but I can't run any Facebook ads right now or Instagram because of it.
Can I start taking unholy vengeance yet?
No, because
you tell me when.
no, because here's the thing. Here's a bonus number 7 that I didn't include in there. How to stand out from your crowd in a saturated market. Do better. Do better. When you hit rough times, when you get unusual amount of feedback or something unusual happens, you need to do better. You need to actually pull yourself up by your bootstraps and say, you know what? This isn't going to work for me. I need to do better here, here, and here to make up for it. And actually, it can be a big inspiration if you look at it that way. Again, I don't look at myself as having competition. I look at myself as having potential collaborators and a few people who don't want to collaborate, and that's fine. I just need to do better here, here, and here to make up for over here.
Okay, I don't understand, but it's been my experience that proactive vengeance is never a waste of time.
You know, where were you in 2020 when I was saying something very similar? And you were kicking my chair saying, West, shut your mouth. Where were you then?
You know what? I was proactively
at one point, I was holding you two apart, and yes,
I wasn't even talking about that one. I wasn't even talking about that one.
Chair and telling you to shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, I know which ones you're talking about.
Look, panda.
Exactly.
Oh, look, a panda. So on Facebook the other day, somebody asked, "What's the number one saying you can use to get out of an argument?" And I tagged Mr. Harmon back there on it because he has said it for years. Just be like, "Oh, look, a panda."
Now, have you used that in a business meeting?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What did people say?
They looked, and the one time they looked, I left the room.
You literally stood up and left.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and the other time it was someone filling out an insurance form, and it was trying to get me to tell them whether they were smoker or not. And I said, it's not, insert insurance companies' names here. I said, it's not our position to tell you whether you're a smoker. Oh, look, a panda. And he turned around and looked, and the whole room just got quiet because there's a lot of people in there. And they said, a panda? What do you mean a panda? And this guy sitting next to him, he says, I believe he's telling you to shut up and just click no, non-smoker.
That's pretty funny.
And that was it.
There you go. Hey, so apparently it works.
Yeah, it works great.
All right, we're down to 5%, gentlemen. It's 8:08. We have cleared the hour mark.
We have.
We have given you 6, and then the always extra bonus that Wes puts on when he
There's always a bonus,
and then he thinks of another one in the midst of it.
There's always more. There's always more.
There's always more, and that's a great thing, and that's one of the things we love about the business aspect of the world is we're not going to run out.
Yeah, no, it's always more. And look,
we could literally do nothing but build avatars, and week in and week out.
Every single week,
for some of you guys, it would get very boring, but we could build a different avatar every single.
That
week.
would be a niche show. That would be the most niche
That would
show
be-
ever.
That would be a decadently moist niche show.
Definitely moist. That's going back to the bird poop coffee.
That's the bird
I'm
poop.
still gonna find. I'm
bird
gonna
poop
try and
coffee.
find a bag of the bird poop coffee, and come hell or high water, I'm gonna get you to drink a cup of.
Well,
bird
I
poop
don't
coffee.
drink coffee, so try it on Matt back
All
there.
right,
He
I'm
drinks
gonna
coffee.
get some of the cricket beer that is being made in Mexico right now. Oh, there's another one.
Sure.
So is it?
Oh, look, a panda.
There's another one in New Zealand. I think there's a brewery that's making stag semen beer. So
Yeah, we've actually talked about that on the show before, about the stag semen beer down in New Zealand. So I just, because of that show, I checked the country of origin.
There you go.
On everything I eat.
I've heard it's rich and creamy. It's I'm gonna try and find a bottle of it for you, and we'll do a you can do a taste test against that versus the cricket beer and see which is better.
None of this is appealing. None of this is appealing. Next week on the Underdog Journey, I will be drinking some Willet.
Oh man,
blackened bourbon.
I can't believe you've kept it closed this whole time.
Yeah, I made it through.
All right, David.
It'll be a good time.
He did. It's July.
Good for you.
It's July. So, David, it's your battery's about to die, so we'll let you go.
Real quick,
yeah.
Will you please respond to the Halon post? My God, I took the time to take the picture and put it up there.
Halon, David.
I know. But is it a 1211 system or a 1301?
Who the hell knows?
Nobody knows. He's making up numbers. He doesn't know what that means. It's in the
1211 's for
C3PO
extinguishers.
system.
It's a chlorinated hydrofluorocarbon to keep it streamed versus the three-dimensional clouding, which is the bromotrifluoromethane. That's the 1301.
Yeah, and the snozberries taste like snozberries.
Yes.
Snozberries taste like snozberries.
All right.
That was the right response. All right, guys. I'm out. If you guys are staying on, I might catch you on my phone as I'm walking to a cigar/bourbon lounge.
All right. Well,
but for the rest of you out in TV land, hugs and kisses. I'm out.
David, enjoy your vacation. We'll see you guys next time.
Well, I got one thing.
All right, we'll see you.
He's going, what?
I wanted to talk about the. Did you already sign off?
David signed off. Okay. We're still live.
All right, so if we're still live.
Is this safe for?
Extremely safe. Yes.
Okay.
So I did some research with some of my fellow Coast Guardmen, and
you call them coasties? Is that?
Yeah, coasties. Yeah. So I wanted to know if you wanted to talk about the Titan for a second, the submarine.
The submarine. Oh, yeah. Is this? I get. We can talk about this. You guys want to hear about the submarine? Let's hear about the submarine.
So I was talking with a warrant officer who was involved in a lot of these, not that search and rescue, but those types of, search and rescues in general, and of course, Coast Guard, you deal with the ocean pressures. So I think it's common knowledge at this point, when the implosion happened, they died so quickly, they had no idea there was a problem.
Oh, it was instantaneous.
Yeah. Now, they knew there was a problem.
And you called it, by the way. You called it. You said it was an implosion.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that there's no mistakes down at that depth. There's no rescuing someone there.
Yeah.
But what I found out is, and I'll try to be I'll try not to be graphic here, but their bodies turn into, through the process of a superheated flash, which happens at that depth with when there's an air pocket, it becomes incredibly hot. So there was a superheated flash. All of this again in I think it's a 30th of a millisecond.
Right.
So their bodies essentially became gelatin. And
instantaneously.
Right.
Yeah.
So there will be, like they said, they're recovering some human remains. The only remains that can be recovered would be cooked to the side of the wall.
Right.
And in gelatin form.
Oh yeah. So a lot of people by now have seen videos of demonstrations of how the implosion happened.
Right.
There's like a pretty cool video. I'm not sure how they did it, of a train car that was
the Mythbusters. Yeah.
That was imploded really quickly and just.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding of when that happens. Those people were not conscious of, the walls are closing in on me, because their bodies simultaneously did the same thing.
Right.
Like their skulls simultaneously did the same thing,
It's
because
so
it's pressure.
fast.
Right, because the pressure of the air inside the sub is the same as the pressure inside their skulls.
Right.
So all of it at the same time went choomp.
It's the same speed of dying
Yeah.
as if they were next to a nuclear bomb going off.
Yeah, totally.
It's absolutely instantaneous. So fast their brains had no idea.
Yeah, so those people had no idea what hit them, literally.
Yeah. Now they knew there was a problem because they were dropping their sandbags.
Yeah.
That was their last transmission, and as soon as that transmission happened, the implosion happened. It's interesting. They knew the implosion had happened, but they still went on this the subs lost nonsense looking for. I don't understand all the dynamics of that.
So there's a lot of if you want to put on your tinfoil hat, there are a lot of people talking about why that might be. So the almost as soon as it happened, the Navy knew about it.
Yeah. It's loud.
The same day that it happened, James Cameron came out and said he knew, and all his research friends, because he's big into the Titanic stuff, obviously. He said that all of them knew. He knew that day. He's actually come out since then and said the whole thing was, what do you call it? A horrific hoax or something along those lines. The search for the sub, not the sub imploding.
Right.
And there are a number of theories as to why none of this came out publicly. But if you look at all of the actual news that took place during that week, it's interesting to see what nobody was talking about versus what they were talking about. Tinfoil hat stuff. I'm not suggesting anything.
Right. So
I'm just saying.
Political stuff going on.
I'm just saying.
Look over here, not over here. Sort of
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying other people are talking about that.
Never let a good tragedy go to waste.
Yeah.
That sort of
I'm
thing.
not saying that. I'm just saying other people are talking about that. But
because
this is a non-political show,
right.
And we are still live.
But scientifically speaking, that is what
Scientifically
happened.
speaking,
So
yes, they did not feel a thing.
What's actually complicated about all of this, to me, I'm sure not to the families, but they literally went back into nature. I mean, it's the purest form of going back into nature as you could ever be.
The most comforting thing to the families is that their family members turned into Jell-O instantaneously.
Right, and they were eaten by different organisms.
Right. So they're being eaten right now by deep sea giant isopods. That's
without having to suffer. But
the next time you eat lobsters and king crabs from that part of the ocean,
really could be there.
Look, we're all part of the food web.
I don't know that there are lobsters and king crabs that deep, but still, there are those isopods.
There are the isopods.
Yeah, and rust sickles. A lot of rust sickles. Those things are amazing.
Rust sickles. They're delicious.
Like hanging off of the Titanic.
Yeah,
there's rust sickles.
It's
like icicles that look like rust, or that rust that look like icicles.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love deep sea. I'll never go, but I love it. I'm not that stupid.
Yeah. You don't want to turn into Jell-O instantaneously and be fried to the.
Not that smart. Either one. I'm like too in the middle to ever go that deep.
Right. You got to be either really dumb or really smart,
right?
Or really rich. And really rich either way. Yeah. It's true. The average schlub. I don't think either one of us will ever have the opportunity to go to the bottom of the ocean.
But I think more than anything, just if you take the emotions out of it, which I'm not attached to these people, so I don't have to feel anything. The whole science behind it is just amazing, and I there's so many YouTube videos now on the science of implosion, and it's really neat.
Yeah, and one of the red flags is if you're ever gonna go on something like that, make sure it's not piloted by somebody using a Nintendo video game controller they bought at Best Buy.
Like an Xbox controller.
Yeah, it was a wireless.
Nintendo.
It was a wireless controller.
Yeah.
That don't do that.
Yeah.
That's my advice. Don't do that.
You want a steering wheel, I think. I mean,
at least
and a console.
At least one of those big ship's wheels. That's what you need.
The lights are fake. I want a console with lights. I want switches.
Right. And you know what? I've seen The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I'm wearing the t-shirt right now. I highly recommend watching the film. That'll tell you all about deep sea exploration.
Right.
With Bill Murray.
All the consoles you need and the tanning room.
You need it's true. You do.
Right. And I think Gwyneth Paltrow was in that one, wasn't she?
She was.
Yeah. She's like,
that was a good film.
I think there's like all those films, she's naked for like a fraction of a second.
Shakespeare in Love has a little longer. Why are we talking about this on? Why did that come up?
You were talking about the Life Aquatica.
The Life Aquatic with Steve. It's a great film. It's Wes Anderson. He actually had a film that just came out. We saw a couple days ago.
Really like him.
Yeah, his films are unbelievable. So Wes Anderson, if you're watching, I know you are. Give us a like, a thumbs up. all that fun stuff. Give us a subscribe. And it's time to sign off. So, I've been Wes Carnahan. This guy's been Matt Harmon. And we'll see you next time. Later.